Week, new constructs, new lantern this episode, and yet it's another banger, man. This show has been nothing but consistent so far. I'm really digging its commitment to tone, the atmosphere. I love what the characters are going through right now. I like that we're taking this time with this mystery and really letting it slowly develop, but also doing solid character building. It's a great episode. Let's get into it. You kind of have two parallel arcs running in this episode. You have Jon Stewart on his agenda, where essentially at the start of it, you see how Jordan, we're flashed back into the 2016 era of time. We're not looking back to where he was post killing of Hal Jordan. We're looking at the modern setting right now. Going back to, like I was saying before in the last week, the times we're going to see Hal Jordan be alive and be a mentor to Jon Stewart and see how that kind of develops before we lose him. And again, it feels like that slow car crash waiting to happen. And I love how this episode starts. Essentially, you have two parallel arcs going on here. You have Jon Stewart, who is woken up by Hal Jordan, and he's told to go on a mission. It's like, learn to fly, but then go to this location and also get my lantern back for me. Can you go to my house, get my lantern so I can charge my ring? That'd be really nice. Jon Stewart agrees to do that, and he immediately tries to fly, and he formulates a construct, but he thinks of flying, but instead of actually flying, he just makes a bird that starts flying around alongside him the whole episode, and Hal Jordan goes, all right, you can't fly yet, but still go to my house, get my lantern. Also keep the bird alive while you're doing that as a test. And that's Jon Stewart's test throughout this episode. He goes to retrieve the lantern while Hal Jordan goes and investigates the football shooting to see what happened there and get a little more hints of what's going on. And I love how the episode opens because it has one of my favorite comedic bits where Hal Jordan shows up to the town meeting. Everyone like a cult turns around to look at him. Very sketchy, by the way. Are you all manhunters? Starting to think this is a town full of manhunters. That was a solid moment of good comedic relief because I love when Hal Jordan's just like, I just want to talk about something. Him and the lawyer start talking while the town meeting's going on. So the sheriff gets annoyed and goes, hey, calls them out on it. And he's like, I got about 30 seconds left of patience. She says that to Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan just gets up and goes, all I need is 40. I don't know why that hit me so hard. That was just a really good joke. The comedic timing in this show has been excellent so far. But as Hal Jordan goes through that, essentially he gets there, he tries to talk to them, and the sheriff says no, shuts him down, kicks him out. So he's like, all right, cool. Time to take matters into my own hands. So he gets the bodies that were from the shooting, and you just watch him bring them to the football stadium, and he tries to carry them through, but the bodies start beeping under the metal detectors, which causes Hal Jordan to be like, oh, see, these aren't human bodies. Starting to look like there's a little bit of an alien conflict going on between two factions, but they're hiding it. That's interesting. But I like it because you get the one angle of the investigative side with Hal Jordan doing his thing and showing, again, illustrating how good of a lantern he is and how good at the job he is. I think it's such a smart way to write this because if you lose him in the first episode, he's gone, it's established, he's been taken out. We have to spend time with him now. We have to really understand how Hal Jordan operates so we feel that loss. And what I like is that when you're seeing his smarts, you're also getting a side of his human side, the empathetic side. You get those little moments where he's talking to the sheriff, convincing her that even he is willing to do good. Even she is at a point where she's like, look, I need you to just do things my way because I need people to stay calm. I thought that was a really interesting angle to take with the sheriff because she herself is just trying to kind of keep the peace. You know, at first throughout these two episodes, I've been like, why are you so insufferable to Hal Jordan? You are so mean to him. He's just trying to do his job. But when she lays it out to Hal, it makes total sense. It's like, look, dude, we don't know how a town will react if they find out there's a possible alien invasion going on. That could cause mass hysteria. And it's like, I didn't think about that. It's a good no shit statement. Sorry, show, for getting mad at you for that. Smart writing. I really like that because it did make me empathize with her now. I'm like, okay, what's your angle here? I'm excited to see. I'm wondering too if she's a manhunter herself and she's trying to hide information. The thing about this show so far is it's doing a good job of making me point my finger at every character and being like, what are you up to? What are you up to? Are you the one? But as that's going on with Hal Jordan, as Hal Jordan tries to further prove what's going on behind the murders of this town, you do have Jon Stewart, who is going on this lesson of learning about Hal himself and the history of Hal Jordan without us having to follow Hal Jordan through it. I think it's a really clever way to do that. You're getting a POV from Jon Stewart, our main lead, endearing us to him while he discovers stuff about the other character we're being endeared to from the other side with Hal. Great character moment when Jon Stewart brings the suit back anyway. He's like, no, I didn't want to disrespect it like that. It deserves to be here. At least to a really solid moment at the end of the episode that I really dug, where they had this shared moment of dialogue at the motel. And you can tell that Jon Stewart is at a point where he's like, I don't know if I trust this guy. I care about him. I just, trust is not in the deck of cards I was dealt with growing up in life. How can you blame him for not trusting Hal Jordan? And then he has the dialogue with the wife of the guy, and she even elaborates, is like, Are you sure you even trust him too? Like, everything's afoot in this episode. It does feel like that perfect hybrid of realism and grit and comic book zaniness. That moment where Jon Stewart goes into Hal Jordan's house and he has to reach through the pocket dimension to grab the lantern. And it's the perfect blend of cosmic meets realistic gritty detective show splat together, but never feeling out of touch or out of tone with itself. The tone just weaves so beautifully. I never feel like there's a distracting moment that takes away from the tension of what's going on in the episode for how fantastical it gets or how cosmic it seems to be. The finesse in how the episode transitions into how Jordan at the end flies into space to go talk to Sinestro after the conversation with Jon. It feels so within character, like it didn't feel like it missed a beat. He just goes from detective show to outer space, still keeping that tone of detective drama. You can definitely tell that there's a history. I mean, of course, there has to be a history between Hal Jordan and Sinestro. That's how the Lantern lore goes. But I like that here they do highlight the fact that it's not just text you learn. It is something interesting for Hal Jordan's character. It's like, okay, this is something that clearly affected him. He doesn't like talking about Sinestro. I really want to know that backstory now. Now, part of me wonders, like, are you planning to keep Hal Jordan around long enough for us to experience that backstory or at least hear about it? That could really do wonders for this character. I would love to see that. Because let's face it, I mean, we never really actually got a good Sinestro on screen. Don't try to count the Ryan Reynolds movie, you're just lying. I'm kidding, you can have your own opinion, you can like what you want. It's fine. But at the end of the day, that was a credit scene of Sinestro. That wasn't Sinestro in live action to the fullest depth we could experience him. The fact that I was over here thinking like, wow, that is the first time we're seeing Sinestro in live action, it's not. Technically kind of is. I'll say this couple of minutes of screen time and dialogue with Sinestro was a lot more interesting than anything we had gotten previously live action wise with him. And that's a win. That's funny, I did have the conversation after the episode with my roommates. They were all like, Sinestro looks a little put together. I'm like, that crusty dude looks put together? Okay. I don't know, he looked like Sinestro to me. I can't think of what else we could do with his design. He's in a dark room in a prison. He's been imprisoned and he's old and crusty. He looks within character of how Jordan looks like, old and crusty. Imprisoned within his own mentality. I'm really excited to see how that reflection goes. I'm excited to see that conversation they have about Jon Stewart and what that'll entail in the next week. And if for nothing else, I love the slow down moments of this episode because like Jon Stewart sitting at the bar with the wife, trying to figure out her mentality of the relationship, and us as the audience just trying to piece together if what she's saying is legit, how much of it is half truth, how much of it is lie. It's interesting, and again, that tension is still there while still being humbling and character driven at the same time. It's a nice conversation that Jon has with her about trust and about loyalty. And something that is a big part of Jon Stewart's character, it seems to be in this. I like that we're exploring the depths of that in simple conversations. Very excited to see where that wife leads to. I'm wondering if she is manhunt. Again, I'm just suspicious of everybody in this. I'm really digging the escalation. I like that the show appears to be slowly revealing the tricks up its sleeve with its cosmic angle as each episode goes along. I can't wait to see where next week goes with that. So far, I'm just getting good vibes from the Lanterns. I'm really enjoying it. I dug episode 2. It was solid. Cannot wait to see what happens next week. I'm loving the character so far, digging the intrigue, digging the tone, loving the atmosphere. Feels like Lanterns. It feels like it's selling us on what it was promising to be, and I'm happy about it. Hell yeah, man. It's a good day. Guys, what was your favorite moment in this episode? What has been your favorite moment in the show overall? Who's your favorite character in Lanterns as we watch it? Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. Leave a like, leave a comment, come talk about movies with us, come talk about stories with us. I'll see you next time.